Hello viewers, SuperGT here. Welcome to update 1.36 on Gran Turismo Sport. So the game has added 5 cars, 2 of them being variations of this, the Super Formula car. So quite an interesting addition to the game, and we haven't had many single-seater cars after the F1 car was added a couple of months ago, or quite a few months ago. We're going to take this for a spin around Suzuka of all circuits, and driving the Honda variation of the car. So we're going to just see how the car performs, how fast is it, how is it to drive, and just how quickly can it do this circuit of Suzuka. So here we go then. We're going to go for a variation of views throughout the race, but mostly stick to this one, the cockpit view, as you can see of course with the halo. So coming down the main straight, you're going to have a look here at the overtake function. So this is something that was just added as well as part of this update, part of this car. So what it does, well, first off you have to map it to one of your buttons on your controller or your wheel, and then when you press it, it gives you DRS and KERS. So for those of you who don't know what the hell those things are, DRS, drag reduction system, takes a big chunk out of your rear wing and you get more speed on a straight. KERS is a recovery system for braking, or kinetic energy recovery system. Gives you more speed basically on a straight as well. So you press it, you go flying past your opponents as if they were standing still. Good stuff. Unless they're not using their one as well to defend against you. So something different there. So lots of people crying out for Spa and Laguna Seca. Well, you're getting an overtake function and this car instead. So coming through into Spoon Curve, this car is absolutely flying. We can talk about the speed of it now, because the F1 car that was added, the Mercedes F1 car, that can do this circuit in around 1 minute 30. When I was first lapping it, I was doing about 1 minute 33, 32. So we can see exactly how this compares, and also we'll see how it compares to a Group 2 car. The Group 2 cars in this game, so the Super GT cars, can do it in around 1 minute 47, around about that sort of time. So we're going to come across the line here on our first lap to see how we perform. 1 minute 43 for the first lap. With traffic, of course, we can definitely go a lot quicker than that. You can see the overtake function going red there as I was using it. Now about that, so as I go flying to the back of this guy, about the overtake function, so it doesn't replenish. A lot of racing series, you get a fresh batch of overtake every lap, but here it's not replenishing. You use it and then you lose it. You're not going to get it back. So you have to be very, very picky with how you go about using it. So it is quite appealing just to press it at every available second, but you'll run out very quickly. I think you can use it for about 10 to 12 seconds roughly. That's just a rough estimate based on how much I've done so far. So it's not very much use throughout a race, and especially if you're going to be doing a longer race, I don't think there's going to be a replenishment function. So it is just a case of you have it once and then you lose it, so you've got to use it as wisely as possible. Going through Spoon, then up behind third place, going so quick into the back of him. This car is absolutely ridiculously on rails. So I was actually surprised by how quick this car is. After doing some hardcore Wikipedia research, turns out this is about 8 seconds a lap slower around here than a equivalent F1 car. So let's say the 2017 versions of the F1 car and the Super Formula car, around about 8 seconds difference, which is actually not massive. I mean, obviously in motorsport, even half a second is massive, but when you think about how quick an F1 car is, and this is only 8 seconds off, that is actually not too bad. And by driving it for 2 laps so far, I can really feel how seriously fast this car is. So that lap there, 1 minute 40, like 7-8 seconds quicker than a Super GT car. So it kind of sits right in the middle of the F1 car and the Super GT cars, which are both obviously very quick. This is really rapid. This is seriously quick through the turns. You can really rely on the aerodynamics. So through the S is a really good example. The first sector of this circuit, Suzuka, you can just really rely on it. Just really push, and there's actually much less drama compared to the Formula 1 car, because the Formula 1 car, I felt on this game is just really difficult to drive. It's particularly not a nice experience, if anything. It's actually just really hard. And this is actually, by contrast, a breeze. This is actually really nice to drive. So I'm driving with 0 traction control as I use the overtake function there. Just go flying past into the lead of the race. So that kind of shows you just how quick this car is when you use the overtake function. But this car, with 0 TCS coming out of the turns, there's just really not much drama at all. You can have some trouble in the slow turn, so we'll see coming out of the final chicane, I think is the slowest turn. Actually no, of course you've got the hairpin, and then the chicane here, the second slowest exit on the circuit. So we're going in, braking on the 100 board, so it's really late, and coming up here in second gear, 6 gears in total this car has, and not much drama at all. So not slamming the throttle down, but still not much drama. So again, the braking ability is pretty crazy. Braking on the 100 board going into that final chicane, which is probably about 30, 40, 50 metres later than you'd brake in a Group 3 car. And in this car you're going in there even quicker because, of course, through 130R you don't have to lift at all. It just goes through there so easily, just effortless. How quickly you can go through 130R. It just isn't even a corner anymore. And the same goes for turn 1 around here. We've got turn 1 into the longer turn 2. Turn 1 just almost isn't a corner. It's just sort of an entry phase for turn 2. And you don't even have to brake through turn 1. It's just scary how quick this car is. So through that sector there, half a second up, we can go quicker. We did a 39.1 on the previous lap, but I'm pretty sure we can go way quicker than that. And we'll see how this lap pans out as we come around towards Spoon Curve. Going for a different view here, just to kind of show you what the car looks like in different views. But I must say, actually, I really like the cockpit view. It's kind of hard to get used to with the halo, but once you kind of adapt to how you're looking past the halo, then it's absolutely fine. So this is update 1.36, just added into the game, 28th of March. So the second update this month, which is pretty cool. And they also added the Ferrari 250 GT, Lamborghini Countach, and the Lancia Stratos, so a bit of an Italian affair there. And this car has some Italian heritage too. The chassis built by dibblr, which is an Italian company who make a lot of motorsport chassis for different series. So a lot of Italian essence in this update. As you see behind, this Belgian seems to be really easily keeping up with me as I go flying off here, get sucked wide at turn 1, or the entry to turn 2 you could say. And for some reason this guy is really easily keeping up with me when the rest of the AI are quite a long way back. So I'm getting serious flashbacks to the early Gran Turismo AI days where you normally get that one car which is actually quite good and could challenge you, and then the rest are just rubbish. So actually going back past him though quite easily here and flying around towards the 2 Degner turns and coming through here. Just again, plenty of grip. The car is actually really fun to drive. So my first thoughts on the car, very fun to drive. I actually really enjoy driving it. Lots of grip, not much drama, and we'll see exactly what they do with it in terms of daily races and FIA races. I'd imagine, because normally when you get a car like this added into the game, they would make it the daily race the following week. So we'll see if that's going to be the case. It would make for an interesting race, that's for sure, and I think qualifying will be uber important in that race, because I think it will be a messy race, to be fair, but that might just be me being negative. We'll see though. It might not even be a daily race, it might just be FIA, we'll see. Time will tell, I suppose. Through 130R into the final chicane, we're about to across the line almost to hopefully win the race, although I must say this Belgian behind me has been worryingly quick. I suppose he's saved all his overtake function for these last 2 laps because he's really put the pressure on at the end of the race. So finishing, there we go. So our fastest lap was at 1:37.9, so about 6-7 seconds off of the F1 car, but about the same time, about 10 seconds quicker than the Super GT cars. So that kind of gives you a vague idea of how quick this thing is. So what I would say is it's just really cool to have again another update in the game, another very cool car added. No track this time, but hopefully we'll see something cool in April. But that is all from me. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the car and on the update. If you're new to the channel, maybe consider subscribing. But only consider it. You know, don't be forced into it. No, I'm not going to force you. Don't worry. But there we go. That's all for me today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, do smash the like button. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.